Hey guys, welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. I'm Blake Showalter.
And I'm Beto Vacadillas.
And today we're talking about the NFL. Not a whole lot going on as far as this week coming up. Kind of some garbage games coming up, but someone even more garbage, Beto, is the Jets' performance on Monday Night Football. Wow, was that bad. Wow.
That was pretty tragic, I'm not going to lie.
So
I was almost
tragic.
scared to talk to you because of how bad that they were playing.
It was pretty bad. And as per usual, Jets fandom doesn't know what they're talking about. Once again, I get it, Zach Wilson did not play great, but you know what? When you're sacked 8 times, have 0 running game, and your O-line is going through an O-line carousel every single week, you can't do much. But, Jets Twitter, even New York media wants to talk about, Zach Wilson put in Trevor Siemian. Like, Trevor Siemian, who hasn't won a game since, 2019 is going to do us any better. I can't stand these guys. A little hot right now, not going to lie. Pretty angry about all this. But when you don't score a touchdown against the 28th defense in the league, who is now probably like 17th in the league right now after we put up 6 points, almost cussed right there. That was almost bad, Beto. I don't know what to say. It was unbelievable. But again, Zach Wilson, after being pressured the entire game, getting out of the pocket, and also being booed by his own fan base half of the game, put up a stat line of 33 for 49, 263 yards. Of course, no touchdowns. Castillo Uzama dropped a wide open pass on the late stages of the fourth quarter. And wow, I'm rambling right now, but who cares? I couldn't believe it. And now everybody is all get Aaron Rodgers back there with his torn Achilles. I'm worried about that too. Because when you can't protect the quarterback, especially when your quarterback's miraculously coming back off of a Achilles tear, apparently in the next 6 weeks or something like that, he's just going to get re-injured again. Especially at 39 years old he is. Again, rambling right now. Wow. But I'm at a loss for words right now.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Beto.
That's like an average day in the Jets fan's life. Do you want to keep talking about it? Should we move on? Before?
We can move on if you want. We got the Raiders this weekend. Also, shout out to Isaiah Collins. He's a Raiders fan. We had a little watch party, and I was just, in misery, and he's there chirping at me the entire time. Yeah, the things I wish I could say to you right now if you weren't my boss. But you know what? It's cool. Love you, bud. But yeah, let's move on to this Raiders game the Jets have. I am just dominating the segment right now, but I kind of feel bad. But you know what? It's okay. We're going up against Max Crosby. Probably going to dice and slice our O-line the entire game, but who cares? Zach Wilson's probably going to put up a decent stat line, but it's probably not going to be good enough unless we win. I mean, the Jets, yeah, they put up 6 points, but we put up 13 the week before, and he played just the same as he did this week, but for some reason he's a franchise quarterback last weekend, but not this weekend. It makes no sense, and I'm done with it. The kid's not bad. He's getting better every single week, and I'm done with these Jets fans, who I apparently attribute myself to, shooting our own team in the foot week in and week out. I can't stand it. Hopefully win this weekend to go 5-4 to keep our playoff chances alive. I'd love to see Aaron Rodgers back there, even though Zach Wilson isn't playing that bad. But you know what? Take it away, Beto. I just screamed in the mic for I hope that came in all right. Hope that was all right. But, you go ahead. What do you want to talk about, bud?
I mean, the Jets have been fairly inconsistent, but, I mean, if you just look at some of the teams around the NFL, the ones that are expected to be dominant, looking at the Dolphins and the Bills, for example, these are 2 other teams that have just really struggled with consistency. The Dolphins do not have a win against a winning team this season after putting up some phenomenal performances in the first half of the season. Had us thinking they were going to go all the way in the AFC. And, of course, the Bills as well, always dominant every single year, just getting smoked by the Bengals. It's kind of hard to watch. I don't know which teams I can trust anymore aside from 2 teams that have really stuck out to me, the Chiefs and the Ravens, both looking absolutely phenomenal this weekend. Chiefs obviously beat the Miami Dolphins that I was talking about in Germany. Tyreek Hill having not the greatest performance, maybe regretting that trade a little bit. And Lamar Jackson just going absolutely insane against the Seattle Seahawks, winning by a score of 37-3. And speaking of quarterbacks going absolutely insane, C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud's a dog. I picked him up in fantasy about 3 weeks ago, and boy, did that pay off well. And you know what? No better way to calm me down than talking about the Jets, rather, their division rivals losing. Love talking about that all day long. But wow, C.J. Stroud, absolutely amazing. Not only up for Rookie of the Year right now, but in my opinion, he might just be up for an MVP. Dude is absolutely killing it, putting up 5 touchdowns, breaking Andrew Luck's single-game passing record as a rookie, cutting over
470 yards.
470 yards passing, unbelievable. I was watching that game stunned. And you know what? We figured out if he was clutch or not in that game too, and guess what? He is clutch. We talked down on him in the draft, saying that litmus test was going to hold him back and he was going to be a bust. Boy, was I wrong. I don't really remember what you said, but boy, was I wrong, and I'm glad he is. I'm glad I am wrong, because dude's killing it for my fantasy team, killing it for the Texans, and yeah, man, I can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah, that game-winning drive was absolutely insane. Speaking of another game-winning drive by a younger quarterback, not a rookie, but a younger quarterback, Joshua Dobbs, not even having time to look at the Vikings playbook and memorize any of the plays in there, gets the ball in his hands. The Vikings need a score, marches down the field, and scores. The guy was literally talking through his O-line what his cadences was going to be, like talking to O'Connell. O'Connell was trying to tell him verbatim what the plays were going to be in his headset. Absolutely wild that he can just come in, adjust, and get the Vikings a much-needed win. Sadly, Kirk Cousins is injured and won't be back, but looks like they're going to be just fine with Joshua Dobbs in the time being.
Yeah, man, the pastronaut, right? That's what we're calling him right now. Pastronaut, because he does aerospace engineering, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Vikings winning a game with Jada Pickett under center, absolutely amazing. That's also my nickname for him because of the bald head and all that stuff. But no hate on Jada Pickett. I don't want to get slapped, nothing like that. But unbelievable stuff there. You love to see it. I've been a Joshua Dobbs fan ever since he's at Tennessee. I thought he was going to be a great starting quarterback and maybe even take over Big Ben's role, but obviously that didn't happen. But I think he's really, really good. Got a lot of hate on the Cardinals for whatever reason. That whole lineup was horrible that he had around him. But you know what? I wish him the best for the Vikings. Playoff run is not out of the picture. What I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see that as well, being that Justin Jefferson's on my bench as well and he's on IR. But yeah, as far as fantasy goes, I couldn't love this anymore.
Yeah, I know. Just looking at Joshua Dobbs, like he was looking good with the Cardinals. They did lack a little bit. People were saying they were going to tank, all that jazz. But now that they've traded him to a much better team in the Vikings, I think he's suited with a personnel that's just absolutely fantastic around him. He's going to do great things. Shout out to Joshua Dobbs. I'm really excited to see what this Viking team is like going forward.
Absolutely. But moving on, let's talk about some SEMO sports real quick. Switching into a new season of SEMO sports. That is SEMO Basketball. Tough loss, but it's okay. It happens. Opening days, sometimes you get a tough opponent, got to get things under control. But
all the way in Phoenix, Arizona, Grand Canyon University.
Yeah, it was nice weather out there. That's something positive to say. But other than that, rough game, losing 67-88 to Grand Canyon University. Really not good there. But you know what? Some highlights out of this rough loss. Some highlights I will say is one of my biggest picks for breakout players this year is Adam Larson. Absolutely incredible, putting up 13 points in only 18 minutes of play. I really hope to see him get more minutes later down the stretch. But yeah, he's playing really good as well. Josh Early, the veteran, putting up 10 points for us as well on only 17 minutes. But you know what? I want to see more from our bigger role-playing guys, such as Rob Martin. I know he's coming off an injury, but only putting up 3 points with 28 minutes of play and only 2 rebounds, 3 assists. I would love to see more from him. I know he's capable of it. Absolute dog on the court. But, yeah, just a rough showing from us right now. It kind of looked like they were just trying to build a chemistry, Let me rephrase that real quick. I saw a lack of chemistry right now, but I do see a lot of potential in that scrimmage matchup. A lot of moving parts as far as who's at point guard, who's at power forward, stuff like that. And also, the biggest thing now is as far as our game plan goes, that we have a lot more big men. Had the honor of having Dylan Branson on the show, got to talk to him a little bit about that, and those acquisitions of bigger men as far as Braxton Stacker going and stuff like that. That's going to be huge for our lineup down the stretch. We just have to really learn how to play with that type of offense and that type of defense. But
yeah, I mean, if you look at last year, we did lose a lot of notable players in Phil Russell and Chris Harris, as we've already mentioned before. But if there's one thing that we've learned about this team is that we can trust the coaching of Brad Korn. He's improved the team every single year as a coach, and I don't think that's going to change. I think this team just needs time. Obviously, a lot of losses. We need more chemistry as a team, like you were saying. But I do think that further down the stretch, it's going to be a very dangerous team if we can put things all together as a team.
No, I definitely agree, and Brad Korn's a phenomenal coach. I hope my words I just said was in no way disrespectful to how I think the team's going to perform this year. I think we're right up there for OVC champions once again. I think we have a great team. Again, we just have to figure out how to play with this new style of basketball that we're going to have coming forward.
Yeah.
But you know what? Moving on, more SEMO sports. We got SEMO Volleyball. Those girls are killing it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about a team with needing to build chemistry. These girls have the best chemistry in the entire OVC. They're currently tied first in the OVC, only tied with Eastern Illinois University. But they've been doing some crazy things. They're on a 4-game win streak right now, and they have basically every position nailed down for OVC Player of the Week. Yeah. If you kind of look, Izzy Lukens got Setter of the Week. She has 159 assists. She's averaging 13 and a quarter assists per set, and she's just been playing absolutely phenomenal. Behind her is Tara Bilesmith, Defensive Player of the Week for the OVC. 12 sets played, 104 digs. Of course, she has the all-time OVC record. She's averaging 8.6 digs per set.
Unbelievable.
And, of course, new talent to the team, Offensive Player of the Week and Freshman of the Week all in one. Lucy Arndt having a phenomenal week. She's gotten 5.5 kills a set. Her hitting is at 2.2 .275%, and she has 73 points overall.
Yeah,
Our girls are looking absolutely phenomenal going into the OVC tournament.
They look absolutely amazing. And just talking about chemistry, we've had the opportunity to go to a couple games, get some videography on there, probably playing some clips right now as I'm talking right now. But they look absolutely amazing. Just the way they celebrate after every single point, their camaraderie, and just talking to Tara on Game Time, which is coming out this week. I promise. I know I've said it's going to come out. It's coming out this week. Also have a promotion tied in with that as well. Make sure to watch out for that on our Instagram account, On Target Arrow. But just listening to her talk about the camaraderie with that team and how they're just a bunch of friends, it feels like. You see it on the court, and you see it in the record, and you see it why they're tied first in the OVC, and why you're seeing all these players of the week and stuff like that. They just work so well in unison. They have a great team chemistry, and I have no doubts they're going to go really, really far this year, if not win it all.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Obviously, I think we have the best team in the entire OVC, along with the best coach. Julie Yankis has over 200 career wins. She hit her 200th career win this season, and it's just going to get even better down the stretch.
No, dude, I definitely agree. I can't wait to see what they do next as well. But moving on, our last SEMO sport of the day, SEMO Football, a absolutely massive game this weekend, but kind of missing out on a major opportunity to go far in the OVC as far as standings goes with a loss to Robert Morris over the weekend. That was a really tough loss. Should have won that game. Robert Morris being ranked last in the OVC, us being tied for first and then losing that game. That was just a huge opportunity, especially with UT Martin losing one of their games. I think that was against Gardner-Webb, but again, we would have been undefeated in the OVC and had a clear shot at having that one seed going into this insanely important weekend against UT Martin this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a heartbreaker, a 1-point deficit. We were dealing with some injuries. Obviously, Paxton DeLaurent is not there and adjusting to a new offense. Demorier Vick was also hurt. Hopefully, he'll be back this weekend.
Yeah.
From what I hear, I think he's getting healthy for this weekend.
I talked to him on the sideline, so yeah. I hope so. Tuke says maybe.
Yeah, if you look at UT Martin, first of all, they have been really, really good in the OVC, but there is a difference between them and us as far as the OVC play goes. Last week, they went to overtime with Tennessee Tech, and they only won by 3 points, and that's something that we didn't do. We played the whole game, even though we did have Paxton that game, and it's a little bit different circumstances. We played the whole game, and we did not go into overtime with them. They also went into overtime with Eastern Illinois. We did not do that as well. So
close game, though.
Yeah, very close game, but we still didn't go into overtime. We finished in regular time. So I think that this is going to be a little more competitive than people may think it is. While people may think that UT Martin's going to go in there and just smoke us, I do think we're going to come in there with a chip on our shoulder, especially from the loss from last week. If there's something that we know about this team, so they recover well from losses. We went on a nasty little stretch there of losing multiple games in a row by multiple scores in the second half, and then we fixed it and went on a few-game winning streak, looking very impressive in each game. So I'm excited to see how we can adjust and go into UT Martin for arguably the most important matchup of the year.
It is the most important match of the year, and during the press conference, I was kind of saying to Coach, I was like, this is kind of an OVC championship game. Whoever wins this game is going to be right at that one seed for the OVC. And, of course, we have Bryan after this, which is going to be an important game as well. They performed pretty well over the weekend, but that should be a winnable game as well. This game is the most important game of the year. We've been hyping it up all year long. Whoever wins this game is most likely going to go to the playoffs. It's a huge game. Last year, a lot of history between us two. We didn't play him last year because of the acquisition of Lindenwood in the OVC, which caused for a coin flip to see who was going to go to the playoffs. Now we play him for real. It's a real OVC championship game sort of feel without the title, obviously, but it's going to be an absolute barn burner. We're going out there to cover that one. Beto's finally coming on a trip with us.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. But follow us on Target Sports for all in-game updates and post-game press conferences and also pre-game stuff. We post pre-game stuff as well. But that's all I have for this episode, man. Anything else?
I'm all good here.
Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to follow us on Target Arrow on Instagram, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. Flip that phone horizontally. Subscribe to our YouTube channel down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next time.